Welcome to Inquiring Minds, the podcast for the curious, the faithful, and seekers of deeper truth.
An inquiring mind is a gift, one that asks not just how the world works, but why we are here and the God behind it all.
Here, we believe faith and reason aren't opposites. They are companions on the journey towards truth.
Each week, we will explore life, purpose, and the world around us through honest, faith-filled conversations with believers, leaders, and everyday people walking with wisdom and wonder.
If you're someone who believes that God welcomes our questions and doesn't mind us exploring them, then you're in the right place. This is Inquiring Minds. Welcome to our very first episode of our new podcast, Inquiring Minds. I'm your host, Cenzie.
And I am your co-host, Kayla.
And we are so excited to get this thing going. This has been a long time in the making for us to put together this podcast. So we are super excited.
We are, and it has, like she stated, been a very long time coming. We have been wanting to do this over the years, but I think this is the perfect time just because of, well, one, God's timing, but two, also we have grown in our faith, we have grown in our womanhood, we've grown in our friendship even. And I think that this is the perfect time to share the things that our minds are inquiring about and the things that our minds have inquired about. And we have what we feel like are some answers to some things, to say the least.
Yes, exactly. So Kayla and I have been best friends for over a decade now. She is my sister friend, my sister in Christ, and the godmother of my 4 children. So yay for her.
Yes, it's truly an honor and a privilege. It is. I think that in meeting in college, we blossomed our friendship over the years. I was at her wedding. Like she stated, godmother to her children. But we come from definitely different backgrounds, different walks of life, different beginnings, different middles, all the things. But we have found a way to stay relatable to each other. Though we are women with different backgrounds, we have mindsets that are very similar. We're goal-oriented. We are faith-based, most importantly. We are family-centric. And those things are, what makes us us, but also what bridges those gaps in the times that makes us different, but also having that relationship.
Yes, absolutely. And so we decided to name this podcast Inquiring Minds for a couple different reasons. But, the old school saying, maybe they don't say, I don't really hear the saying too much anymore, is inquiring minds want to know, right? And so, Kayla, what does you want to kind of tell the people what that saying actually means?
Yes. So inquiring minds want to know, like I looked it up on ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT says inquiring minds refers to people who are curious, who are eager to learn, who have a strong desire to know more about something. I think that's definitely us. I am a question asking girl. I don't mind asking a question because to me, questions give an understanding that there is more knowledge. There's an infinite ability to know. But we can't know everything, but we can always inquire. And I think because we can't know anything, that's why we do have faith. It also states that it's often used to describe an individual who asks questions, seeks knowledge, or shows interest in understanding things more deeply. So it's not just a base level understanding. I think it's a deeper understanding of why things do the things that they do, or why do the experiences that we have create better outcomes for us in the long run, maybe better characteristics or skill sets. So I think that goes to show what inquiring minds are. They are people who want to know more, who are seeking knowledge, who have knowledge, but also understand that a wise man knows that he knows nothing. So we have to understand in growing in adulthood, growing in motherhood, parenthood, all the different hats that we wear, that there's always more to know.
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so, yeah, we want this podcast to be a place for those that are curious, those that want to learn more, know more. We definitely plan on talking about relatable topics, casual topics, everyday topics. But as you probably heard Kayla and I mention, we are definitely believers of Christ, right? And so this will definitely be conversations involved with a faith-based lens, perspective. We'll integrate that into our conversation because that's just who we are as people. And so we welcome anyone who has an inquiring mind, right? And yeah, so let's kind of talk a little bit about us so the folks can get to know
Absolutely.
us. So as I stated, my name is Cenzie, and I am a mother of four. I am a loving wife. Okay. And yes, and I am a working professional. So this, this is just something we're able to do in between what we do every day, our regular 9 to 5. I have the honor and privilege of working in nonprofit for most of my career, which is really just aligned with my passion of serving the community, serving people. And yes, and I have a busy life with my 4 children, of course.
So many.
And of course, like Kayla mentioned, we met in college, so I do have my undergrad degree as well as my graduate degree. And I'm just outside of work and outside of being a mom and a wife, I am just a regular girl. To be quite honest, I, like to spend my time, of course, with Christ, with, getting more involved in my word, getting more involved in my faith walk with Christ, and just other hobbies, of course, as well.
Yeah, your girl recently got baptized. Don't short yourself. That's major. Yes, absolutely. I am Kayla. Right? Yes. Yes.
That's who I've known you to be. So
listen. That's who I try to be. That's it. But I am Kayla. I am a family-oriented girl. I am a faith and family-oriented girl. I love my family. I come from a 2-parent household. I have siblings. My siblings are significantly younger than me. My sister is 17 years younger than me, and my brother is 12 years younger than me. So those are my little heartbeats. But I do not have any kids. I am single, not in a relationship. I am single, no kids. So that is my life. I love to travel. I am an avid traveler. So I'm always somewhere that's not home, or I'm always home where I'm not at home, but not where I'm supposed to be. So I am always on the go. I love moving around. I'm a working professional as well. Again, we met in college, where we both received our undergrad, and I am currently in school to receive my master's in behavioral analysis. So I am busy all over the place as well. I got clinicals and all the things to do, but we make time for the things that are important to us. And the conversations that we have, even regardless of being on camera, we have very good conversations in our daily life. So we're like, well, might as well go ahead and record one of 2 of them. See who can it impact and who can it help. So that is what kind of a portion of our reason is as well.
Absolutely. And we, like Kayla said, we definitely come from 2 different walks of life, right? As growing up, I was raised in a single parent household, all the things, right? But and even now in our adult life, we have experienced many different things at different intervals, of course. But we have, I think, really been able to maintain our friendship. It has grown stronger over the years. And so, Kayla, what do you think has allowed us, even despite our differences and different experience, allow our friendship to remain so strong?
I would say mindset. I think that when you are around like-minded people, it's not very hard to kind of relate on a lot of different things, even being in different places in life. She's married with children. I'm single, no children. I come from a single parent, or she comes from a single parent household. I have both my parents in the household. All these differences, not even just those surface level things, but just differences in the way that we think, but also being similar in the way that we think. We're both analytically minded, but also at the same time, how we proceed with our procedures and the things that we do and how we kind of articulate and execute those things can sometimes be different, but we have the same goal. And I think that's where that relatability is. When your mindset is fixed on certain things, the goal is the same. It's just how you get there may be a little different. Because I do strive to be a wife. I do strive to be a mother. I do strive to get to those goals. But it's just about it happening at different times in life for different people, but supporting each person individually, no matter where they are in life. There's things that, she has going on that she supports, that I support for her. And there's things that I have going on still that she supports for me. So as long as that support is there, I don't think that there is a problem with being different and still having a friendship.
Yeah, I really like that you touched on that, because the other thing about our friendship, right, is that it's expanded over the course of 10 years plus, and we have, for the majority of our friendship, lived in different states.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until recently, like the last 3 years maybe, that we have been in the same city for the first time ever in our friendship outside of when we lived out there.
And that was even, you were back and forth.
Yes. Yes. Don't remind me. Yes. And so, I think that speaks volumes, as far as that relatability, where we find the relatability, but we also are open to each other's perspective and different experiences, and have even been able to support each other even from a distance. And, that's why I'm like, hey, like you said earlier, you make the time for the things that are important for you. So,
including people,
any relationship, friendship, romantic relationship,
platonic,
and your relationship with
Christ.
Hello.
Jesus.
And so I think our friendship really embodies that.
Yes, and I think faith is the anchor to all of that. When you find someone who is faith oriented, just as you, if all the other things that could be relatable and all the differences that could draw you apart really kind of binds the faith aspect. Like the faith aspect kind of comes in and it blows it out the water. So where there is a lot of relatability, adding faith to that even makes it even more powerful, and the differences kind of become less important, depending on what those differences are in those specific friendships. But those are, things that for people to decide for their own friendships, but it should, when we share a mutual love for Christ, I think it just makes it a lot easier, because your mindset is rooted in one truth. And when that happens, we're not arguing about things that are mundane when we already have a hard copy of what is true.
Yeah.
We don't have to argue about, well, is this, what do you think about this? Well, God said this. You're right. God did say that. That is what God said. So because God said it, it is the truth, and we kind of move on from there.
Right.
And there's no, not making opinions where there's already fact. When God makes a fact, it is just a fact. We can have opinions about it, but we don't have to then undermine it being true.
Yeah, I think for me that's the definition, the textbook definition of being locked in, right? Being locked in. And I think too, again, we've been friends for a long time, but it isn't anything. I think we learned this, right? Like just going through life, right? As women, as adult women, rather. A lot of stuff happens when you hit. When you get older, you really start going through life and experiencing its hardships, its complexities, its convolutions and nuances and all the things. And that's when you do need solid and strong foundations of friendships and relationships. And I can very wholeheartedly say and authentically say that, again, our friendship has been unshakable even during those times where life was really just, whooping, us. And that's a testimony in itself, because not everyone can have that privilege.
Yes, tried and true. I think that is an important aspect of friendship as well. Like, what has the friendship endured and been able to kind of repair and move forward? And I think not only is that good in a friendship, but even in any type of relationship, you have to make sure that it's tried and true. And that even goes for your relationship with the Lord. That is like you have those experiences with God yourself that remind you of why you love him so much, why you trust him, why you understand why things can't always go how you want them to go, because your relationship with God is tried and true. He has never failed. There isn't a person that has tried him that he's failed. And that is what the Bible says. So it's true, despite what we may feel. And I think that is important to understand as a big aspect to any relationship. Is the trying times are the times in which it showcases, is this thing worth it? Is this thing real? And does this thing hold weight?
No, I love that you said that too, because we really shouldn't treat any of our earthly relationships any different than what we would treat our relationship with Christ. And when I say that, I mean, we will go to bat for people. You see what I'm saying? We will give them ample opportunities. We will forgive them. We will, just do all the things, but then let something happen and we want to now blame God for it, right? And it's like, well, that's not no, that's backward. And so I just love that you touched on that. So, what do we hoping people take away from our conversation?
I hope that people take away that Christ is in the center of all things rational, for one. But I really hope they take away that there is perspective to be had about everything. And everybody has their own way of thinking and has their own way of processing information. And being able to understand that everybody has a story of sadness. Everybody's gone through something that's not necessarily unique to people. It's common. So if that is common, what makes conversations unique? What makes conversations unique, I think, is the fact that not everyone, one, overcomes the troubles that they go through, but two, the overcomers then overcome different. So just as speaking before, we have the same kind of mindset, but we have different ways of getting to the same goal. So talking about that gives me insight on, wow, that is a good way to execute that goal. Let me try that because the last thing that I tried didn't work. So when you have those conversations, you get to better planning your own skill set and better planning your own plans to execute because you're listening. And you're like, okay, wow, that really worked for them. We think alike. Maybe that will work for me. Or you can say, hey, that worked for them, but I know it wouldn't work for me because whatever reason. But it is the point of really wanting people to understand that having those conversations helps build you. It builds you.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and that's, I think that is the point of most podcasts these days is to, be able to express that relatability or allow the audience to find, things to relate to. And so we definitely hope that you all, take away that from us. But yeah, we just are so excited to kind of get this thing going. Like I said, it's been a long time in the making, but I really don't think there would have been a better time. I feel like even if we had done this a year ago, well, if we done this last year, I was pregnant. So I don't think that would have been the right time.
This time last year would have been no good.
Yes, and 2 years ago and 3 years ago.
2 years ago.
And so, what is the saying? Vision is 2020.
Hindsight.
Hindsight is 2020, right? Yes. And so we're able to speak on the things that have, transpired in our lives, even just in the last 3 years specifically, but even beyond that, and have a different and deeper level of insight and analysis, self-evaluation, and all the things. So we just hope that, something from our conversation, something from our future episodes resonates with you. Yes. And we just really look forward to, again, having episodes and talking about various topics. And so,
and even hopefully hearing from them or what maybe they want to talk about or have questions about, because in the conversation that we want to have, we want it to be relatable. And we are open to any type of, I love perspective and I love conversation. What is your stance? What you feel? Why do you feel what you feel about things? And I love opening that up where there is no judgment on your opinion. But I think some people get so very defensive of their stance so they can't understand that not every time that someone's inquiring why is an attack.
Right.
But that also comes from the fact that they can't defend their stance and they have no articulation as to why they feel the way that they do. So with that being said, I just want people to feel comfortable, asking us anything, having questions and having inquiries about even our own positions. Why do we feel the way that we feel, or what gave us the understanding or perspective that we have? And it's, we want to make it a two-way conversation.
Oh, for sure. And so, yes, we are open to your inquiries. We do have, feel free to email us at info@inquiringmindspod.com. You can also follow us on various social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and like and subscribe our actual podcast streaming episodes on YouTube. And so, yes, again, if you want to, we are open to guest speakers. Yes. If you have something going on that is you want to promote, we are interested in having you on the show. We can also virtually call you in. So we're just open. This, we just want this thing to kind of organically grow in whatever way God ordains. Yes. And so, yes, we're just super excited. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you on episode 2.
This is Inquiring Minds.
To future implement.